Hello my fellow family foodie friends, it's Jackie and welcome back to another week of What's for Dinner. I'm super excited to share 6 dinners with you guys that are not only really yummy, but they're pretty easy to execute for your family during the week. And I hope that by sharing these dinners with you guys, you feel very inspired to cook meals for your family. And don't forget, if you want to see how I shop for these meals, that was posted earlier this week in my grocery haul. And without further ado, let's get into my 6 dinners. I'm prepping the pesto mozzarella chicken. I saw this on Lianne's channel of Simply Enjoying Life. She shared this in a recent What's for Dinner and it looked really good. I'm gonna leave out some of this pesto so that my older daughter can enjoy this. So this is gonna be a little bit longer in the crock pot because I'm starting frozen. I meant to pull this out yesterday and I forgot. I'm gonna put my frozen chicken in the crock pot. Then I'm gonna cover it with an entire jar. I would do all of it except for I'm saving some for my daughter, as I mentioned. Then I'm gonna add 4 tablespoons of butter and then juice the lemon on top, and you cook that for the most part. And then at the end you do add in some more seasonings and cheese and pasta. Okay, first things first, my frozen chicken breast. This is already trimmed, clean, and cut up. This actually smells amazing. If you don't love pesto, then I don't love you. Oh, this is a juicer I got at Aldi years ago. Putting half my lemon in there. I'm doing salt and pepper. Did you squeeze the lemon juice for me? Got more or no? Let me see. You're so cute. I mentioned that my chicken is frozen, so I'm going 8 hours on low. We're gonna put the lid on this thing and let it be. We're not gonna open the lid, we're not gonna stir. So, don't mind my hard watermarks, but there's the chicken before, and we'll see it 8 hours from now. At first I was going to actually grate this like Lianne did in her video. I was going to put this through the grater, but then I realized I have so much shredded mozzarella already. I am going to use this up because this still has a good couple months and it's not open, and this is already open, so I need to get it used. Now that the chicken's all shredded, I can add in the Parmesan and the dried basil and the noodles once they're ready. So I'm just gonna let it sit here while I wait. Okay, so the last part of this meal comes together pretty quickly with lots going on. I'm gonna be steaming this cauliflower right there. I have the breadsticks in the oven. I will top them here in a moment, noodles going, and then it will all just sit for a few. And I have my al dente cooked pasta here because I know it's gonna cook a little bit as it sits while the cheese melts. So I'm gonna dump it in there. I did not use the entire pound the recipe calls for because my daughter that doesn't eat meat, I left some noodles out for her. Half cup of Parmesan. So it's all mixed together now, and I'm gonna sprinkle this mozzarella all over. I'm just gonna have my crock pot on warm and the lid on. And while everything finishes, the recipe says about 15 minutes, but I'm not really worried about it being 15 full minutes. I'm just gonna let that melt as I finish my breadsticks and cauliflower. These are just the Marcasite breadsticks from Walmart. Plop them in the oven according to directions, and now I have a tablespoon of melted butter that I'm putting on top of each warm breadstick. And then I'm just putting some garlic salt in my hand and sprinkling it all over the breadsticks. My husband actually really loves to make breadsticks from scratch, but he's working late tonight. Here's our melted result. I did not wait 15 minutes because we are hungry, but I'm going to scoop myself some. I did a tester bite of this. It's amazing, and I know I'll be making this again soon. I'm excited to see what my husband thinks, but he's working late tonight, unfortunately. Okay, so I'm gonna be prepping walking tacos. This is a very easy prep. We use corn chips. I'm using the chili cheese and regular corn chips people can pick. We are gonna cut lettuce, green onions, peppers just because we have been buying these frequently. And I'm gonna heat up this ground beef. I just cut it open and then I realized I wanted to show it to you guys frozen. I ended up not making fresh beef this week because I didn't deliver it to my friend. We postponed it a week due to my son's flu. And then I'm gonna heat up a can of black beans. But these are just gonna go on the stove top, and then basically it's like building a taco using this as your shell. It's super simple and it's one of our favorite meals. I'm also gonna heat up nacho cheese and have fresh cheese out and sour cream. Why are you munching on those early, sir? Are they good? Do you have one too? Yeah. Guilty! I'm adding garlic salt, onion powder, and cumin just to season it a little bit. And those are ready whenever we eat. And the meat is just slowly defrosting. It's easier, obviously, if you pull it out early, but we didn't remember to. And by we, I mean me. Okay, so this is basically like a buffet lineup, and you start with the corn chips. Like I said, we have the two versions. We have black beans and meat. I personally like both. Then we have our salsas, the heated up nacho cheese, regular shredded cheese, and we have green onion, sour cream, and peppers. And I almost forgot the lettuce that Elsie cut. Perfect meal for a family with lots of different preferences. You make it exactly how you like it and it's delicious. Okay, so I'm chopping up celery. I am gonna cut up the entire cabbage, even though that's way more than what the recipe calls for, but my family will eat it and we like cabbage, and then an onion. The recipe is linked below. This is from Damn Delicious That Nut. I love her recipes. And I'm gonna chop everything and get it in here so that it's easy to fry up for dinner tonight. Okay, I'm adding in 3/4 cups soy sauce, and then I'm gonna add in the white pepper, garlic, ginger, and brown sugar, mix it all up. And I am tripling the sauce recipe because I'm adding so much extra cabbage and a little extra noodles that I want to make sure it is enough sauce to cover it all. I am not using fresh ginger. I'm using this tube that I got from Aldi a while ago. It works really well. The white pepper is very distinct in this recipe and I think is really an important ingredient. And just for a bit of sweetness, the brown sugar. Okay, so I've thoroughly made a cabbage mess of my counter. One thing that I love about making this dinner is I now have the sauce ready and the vegetables chopped, and it's only 2 in the afternoon. My kids can come home from school, my husband can get home from work, and whenever everyone's ready to eat, it will take me about 15 minutes to get this actually done. I just have to boil the noodles, and while that's happening, I can saute the vegetables, toss them together, and we'll be good to go. I bought this massive pack of Oriental style noodles, and I'm just gonna try to use 1/4 of it. And once they're cooked, they only take about 5 minutes once boiling. I'm gonna add them into my sauteing vegetables, which I'll get started, and then I'll pour in the sauce. I'm adding in my olive oil. Dump in all my veggies. Lots and lots of veggies. I'm just gonna add in some of the sauce. So I mix everything together and now I'm gonna give it a little fry, get it integrated, and then dinner will be ready. You can put sesame seeds on top or crushed nuts. But it's an all-in-one dinner. Okay, so this is a real simple part of the dinner. We are just heating up sausage patties, brown them on both sides. These are from Aldi. I really like them. We do not like the maple version though. So the inspiration to make French toast came from seeing this bread at Meijer. I had a loaf of bread for free up to $3, and this looked like a nice thick great bread to make French toast with. So I got this for free from Meijer. They send us coupons every once in a while, ever since I stopped shopping there basically. And that is all thanks to Walmart grocery pickup and Aldi just being too good of competitors in my opinion. But every once in a while I get some really nice coupons from Meijer, which does draw me in. And this free loaf of bread is why we're having French toast. So the first thing I'm adding into this is an egg. Then I'm gonna add the milk and the melted butter. I have cinnamon, nutmeg, and salt. And then I'm adding 2 teaspoons of vanilla. I will link this exact recipe below. It's for an entire loaf of bread, which is what I'm using. And I'm gonna give this a little bit of a whisk here. I am actually gonna use my immersion blender because we really like the egg to be well blended. And I just think that makes it the most consistent if I use that and just really give it a nice blend. Now it's nice and liquid to dump my bread in. Normally I would be coating my griddle with butter, but I completely ran out for the recipe. And I hope it doesn't gross you guys out, but I find that using my fingers is the easiest for me. Those are cooking on that side. Show you what I got going on over here. So I just moved the sausage. I have my oven on warm. I'm gonna keep everything as it cooks in there. And then I'm gonna make fried eggs. So this is a very basic dinner. That's what we got for tonight. We'll have syrup and powdered sugar on top of the French toast. Kids will love it though. Hey guys, I am starting my Zuppa Toscana in my Instant Pot. I like to make it in the Instant Pot even though it's like a crock pot, because then I can saute first. I can cook up the sausage. I normally do real bacon, but I want to use up these bacon pieces and onion. I'm going to saute that all together. Now that the meat is nice and brown, I actually do not drain the fat out of here. I'm adding some garlic. I'm gonna let that cook in a few minutes, and then I'll add in chicken broth and the potatoes and put it on slow cook. So you want to just kind of pat all the potatoes down to make sure they're in the liquid. Slow cook. I'm gonna do normal, but I'm just gonna set it to 9 hours, just that way it won't turn off while I'm out and about, but it's actually plenty of time. And I won't even check on this until I'm gonna add cream and kale later. And I'm gonna rinse all this off before it goes in the soup. Let it drain a bit. So this has been going 6.5 hours. I haven't opened it. And I'm gonna add in the kale and the half and half. I'm gonna add a cup of water just to get this a little more brothy since I added so many potatoes and the kale. I'm just sprinkling in some red pepper, salt and pepper, and this will go for probably another hour before we eat. Okay, so you can see this has been going for just 5 minutes shy of 8 hours, and we are going to eat. Smells amazing. I love this dinner. This is my 8-year-old Elsie's request. The soup is a favorite, and we're serving it with canned pineapple on the side. We are making a very comforting family dinner called Grandpa's Special. It's my husband's grandpa's dinner he used to make. You shred potatoes, and then you fry them in a pan with salt, pepper, and butter. And then eventually you scramble and add in eggs and diced up hot dogs. And you serve it with buttered toast. It is a really yummy dinner, and it hits all of the comfort, like buttery, warm, super hearty, and it's a perfect dinner on a cold, snowy night. Look at this outside. It's freezing here. We're getting a ton of snow right now. Melting butter in the pan, and I will be adding these 6 potatoes in that I shredded with a grater. I don't really measure everything when I make it. Just add lots of butter, lots of potatoes, and a pack of hot dogs. I actually end up having to make this 3 ways. One without eggs or hot dogs, and then with eggs and hot dogs, which is how my husband and I like it, but you know, kids are picky. Kids are icky.
How dare you say that?
And I'm just gonna fry these, let them get soft, and then eventually add in hot dogs and eggs, and I'm gonna prep those while this is cooking. Okay, so now I just cut all the hot dogs into hockey pucks. They're like little hot dog pucks. Okay, you can see my taters are starting to crisp up, so I'm gonna just kind of wreck their world. Just get everything to go. Spread the crisp. Okay, so I just added more butter, and I'm gonna let it melt and get in there, and then I'll stir it up again. I'm only adding 2 eggs because 3 of the 5 people in our family don't want eggs in their Grandpa's Special. Also known as 3 people in my family are wrong. Okay, so I have the plain potatoes in the back. I have potatoes and hot dog here, and since my kiddos don't all want egg, like mom and dad, I'm moving some of the hot dog stuff over here. This is the only thing I don't like about making it, is that I have to make it so many different ways because my kids are spoiled. Okay, so now I'm adding eggs onto one side of the pan, and I'll cook them before I kind of scramble them into the potatoes. It's easier to kind of cook them just a little bit before I integrate them. This is all found out through trial and error. You can see a lot of potatoes stuck to the bottom of the pan here. This pan is getting old, and the non-stick is non-existent really, but literally not the most appetizing thing in the world, but you're gonna salt and pepper. So I'm focusing on this one just because this is how it should be. The egg and hot dogs. You guys can imagine what it's like without the hot dogs or the eggs. But salt and pepper. Cook it till you're doneness. We like our potatoes pretty soft with some crunch in there. And if you want it really crunchy, you can kind of go for that as well. But this is it. If you enjoy grocery hauls and what's for dinners, I hope you stick around because I share both of those every single week. And on occasion I do some sort of a fun food video where I'm part of a collaboration or I share something holiday or a tip. And if that's what you enjoy watching, I hope you stick around as a subscriber. I would love to have you. Thank you so much for watching. Chow down and chow.